on this tractor from the Harper Adams Community College, we are bringing you the Neo 09, and this month we have the new electric class. We visit the DHI Cup and we have modified action as well as finding out all about that event. That's all coming up on this month's RC Racing. Well, here on the Harper Adams Sharabang, it probably cost £27 to get across the river to Odense. Much did for us earlier this year to attend the DHI Cup, but that's certainly money well spent to attend Europe's premier indoor touring car event. Organised by Kim, let's hear from him. Kim Bendixson from the DHI organisation. Give us a bit of a story, the history of the DHI Cup.
Yeah, started back in 2001, where we, before that, I traveled around to a lot of races, and I was just like, why is all the races south of Frankfurt? I think there must be room for a race in North Europe, so I started to make a race. And the first year we were struggling to get people up here, get like 100 drivers for the first year. And then it's grown ever since. We have racers from the East, from Japan and China, and drivers from the US and United Kingdom and all of Europe.
Yeah, you seem to manage to attract almost all the top European races, and as you say, occasionally we've seen Hara come over. Why do you think people like to come to a sports hall in Odense?
I don't know, maybe I think it's because of the Danish people maybe. We try to do something else than all the other races, like taking the races out to eat, do some dinner, and so it's not only racing, it's also a little bit fun. Because people is surrounded around and they don't remember what race they do like 1 month ago. So we try to make it a little bit different.
Right. What's the future for the DHI Cup?
Yeah, I like to. At the moment we have mostly all of the top drivers. So I want to make it better for the spectators and get more spectators out, because I think if you look at many races, there's not many spectators, and at this race we expect 2,000 spectators throughout the weekend. So we want to get it out to the public.
Kim, thanks a lot. Back on the track, hot action, and we're about to now bring you the first modified A final, and here it is with your race commentator, John Hindhoff.
So that is the pole position car of Alexander Hagberg, the X-Ray, with a little help from his friends on the front of the grid. Next back, Mark Reinhardt, double world champion, Tamiya. Timo Linu in 3 with the X-Ray. Another Tamiya in 4, this is the Dutchman, Gilles Grooskamp, then Victor Wilke. It's another Tamiya, isn't it? Yes, it is. Mark Fisher is in position number 6. There is his car. Should be able to spot that one. Nice colour scheme there. It's a Corrali. Another Tamiya in 7th is Jonas Kerup. Yannick Plumper, Tamiya. Just a 15-year-old German driver there in 9th. Steen Gravesen. And Krista Andersen is on the back of the grid. Reasonable smattering then of local drivers in this final. There's the buzzer and we're off, and Hagberg gets a decent start from pole position in that green machine. Reinhardt, the German, in 2nd place. He knows all about the big occasion. He's putting pressure on early. Lino in 3rd place is not too far behind either as they come around this very technical circuit, and there's the lead change. That's a tremendous piece of driving by Mark Reinhardt. Lino's gone through into 2nd as well. Timo Lino got at the 2nd. Hagberg, the pole man, down into 3rd, and he's got off. He slipped down to 5th position as Grooskamp and Wilke have come through too. So Reinhardt then leading out from Timo Lino. What a mistake by Hagberg. Had the pole position and has thrown it away down to 5th before the end of the first lap. Reinhardt just now, look at the difference now in his driving style from that early lap when it was all pressure and the car was very twitchy. Now he's settling into a bit of a rhythm and just trying to ease out a bit of a gap on the 2nd place driver Timo Lino, which he is doing. Oh, great shot there through the hairpin back onto the start-finish straight. And there's Hagberg behind. That's Wilke, isn't it, that he's behind at the moment. trying to make up some ground from earlier on. In fact, he's back up into 4th position, I think. Looks like we've lost Grosskamp from that top 4. He's dropped back down into 5th position. And at the moment, this battle for 3rd is what's keep. Oh, there goes 2nd place. Linu's gone out, rolls it in the infield. So now Vilk up to 2nd, Hagberg back up to 3rd, and pressuring. Let's have another look at that. Oh, well, those curbs there, very, very harsh. You don't have to hit them hard at all. You've got to give them a wide berth. And you saw there that as soon as the cars got onto it, it was unsettled and over onto its roof. And Victor Vilk is the man who has profited by that. Hagberg, pole sitter, back up to 3rd. Well, we know he's got the pace over a lap, but what can he do about this 2nd position? He'll be kicking himself. Already had a little dive down the inside there, but nothing doing. Meantime, great news for the German. Mark Reinhardt is out of there. Oh, little touch there. Oh, there's carnage. Absolute carnage. 3 cars and they're still banging and bumping and boring going on behind. Well, let's see how this all started. A mistake there by Vilk. Vilk bounces off the sidewall, takes out Hagberg. Here's another look at that little touch. Oh, dear me, that was a bit naughty, wasn't it? And you can see there that everybody has continued, a testament to the strength of these machines. And Vilkit still in 2nd place, amazingly. But Reinhardt's disappearing off in the distance. We're not seeing much of him. There's Hagberg. Now, I think that's Mark Fisher, is it, who's got up through the field? Or is he about to be lapped? That's a very distinctive flamed car. Hagberg now battling on his own there. So he's trying to pull his way back through the field. That is Fisher, isn't it? So he sneaked up there through all that action. Didn't see that on the replay, but clearly up from 6th position to hold down a podium at the moment. I think that's the battle for 3rd. It is indeed. Vilk's ahead of them. There's the yellow car just going through the right of the picture. So that's 3rd, 4th and 5th. Hagberg right in the middle of the sandwich at the moment, trying to attack and defend at the same time. And Linu trying to fight his way back there in that purple and blue machine. We're not seeing Mark Reinhardt, the German, at the head of the field with the Tamiya because, oh dear, and there's a mistake as well by Mark Fisher, but he's kind of got away with it. Completely airborne, just a minor loss of concentration there. Hagberg smelling blood now, right up on the rear of that car. Now this is a 3-car battle now for 3rd position. And it looks like we're getting, is that Grosskamp as well, who's coming back up onto the back of those cars as well. So we've got 4 cars now battling for the last podium position. Tremendous stuff here at the DHI Cup, brought to you by Morphars. And there's the dive down the inside, is it? No, can't get it done. Hagberg again having that difficult situation where he's trying to find a way past the car in front, that of Mark Fisher, and at the same time he's defending, and he's had another little look there, and that's again another contact there. Well, he's not shy, is he? And he still managed to hold on to that position. Meantime, Linu and Grosskamp are at it as well, banging side panels. And that's allowed Mark Fisher just to pull away slightly. Ahead of him, you'll just catch a quick flash of yellow. That's Victor Vilk. And Mark Reinhardt's gone, by the way. He's made his bid for freedom. We'll see him at the end, I think. Don't take our eyes off what's going on here for the 3rd podium position. That's a pretty good battle going on for the minor positions too. Now there is our leader, and as you can see, he's well ahead of the rest of the pack. And really, since he's pulled away at the start, he's had no problems whatsoever, and he comes through to a very, very impressive victory indeed. He made the move early and made it count. Here's the decisive moment. Hagberg goes off over the curb. That's the opportunity that Reinhardt needed. He goes through despite a little tap into the lead, a lead he never relinquished. So the Leg 1 results in the DHI Cup, brought to you by Morphars, sees Mark Reinhardt take it from Victor Vilk in second. Mark Fisher up from 6th to 3rd. He took advantage of all the carnage around him, didn't he? Hagberg, the poleman, disappointingly down in 4th position. The top 6 made up by Linu and Gilles Crosscamp.
Yep. Oh, I caught it.
Here at Neo 9 there are two things we've not seen before. The first one is the sun. It's lovely and warm for once here in the middle of Telford. But also we have a new electric class running. We've asked Adam Skelding, our old friend, to tell us a little bit more about how you turn your IC rallycross buggy into an electric buggy that smells sweeter, is quieter and actually can go faster. Talk us through the differences about running effectively the same chassis but electric power.
Yeah, the most common electric buggy for 1/8 now is a conversion kit where people just take out the engine, the fuel tank and maybe some of the radio gear and just put in battery pack, motor and speed control. So kind of the same sort of setup from 1/10 or touring car. A little bit bigger battery, we're running 14.8 volts, which is either in one 14.8 volt pack or we have two 7.4 volt packs side by side. So a lot of the stuff that you normally run in touring car or in 1/8 buggy, in 1/10 buggy, sorry, will fit in this car.
Obviously, it changes the complete way the car works. Electric power is delivered in a very different way from IC power.
Yeah. For me, it's really easy because I do a lot of 1/10 racing, but the power is delivered there's no clutch engagement. You just go through the same centre differential, so that's still there. So you can alter all three diffs just like on a normal nitro car. But the power delivery is much more linear. For me, I feel it's easier because I'm used to it. Nitro guys probably don't like it as much. But for me, it's much more linear power and you're not having to blip the throttle to keep the clutch engaged. The power's there when you want it.
Now you've got big voltages and you've got a lot of weight. It looks like the key problem appears to be keeping everything cool though.
Yeah, obviously it's fairly new technology. Only in the last maybe 8-10 months have the brushless conversions really started to take off. And the big problem is the motor's not hugely bigger than the 1/10 motors that we used to see. So keeping 14.8 volts through the same size motor generates a lot more heat. And the major current problem is keeping the heat down in the motor, so people are cutting body shells out, putting more fans in. But I'm sure as time goes on and technology moves forward, the motor will get better, more efficient, and we'll start to see everything come down and it'll be much more user-friendly than it is now.
Alan, thanks very much.
No problem.
Well, now Adam's explained it all to us, let's go meet our pole sitter for the electric A-file at the Neo 09. It's Ryan Mayfield.
Ryan Mayfield, you obviously liked it so much last year. You're back again to a shed in the middle of Telford.
Yep, I'm here again. This is my third Neo Buggy race and fourth time to England, so it's fun.
And you're joining in the new class, you also run the electrics. I mean, I know that America they've been running for a few months longer than here, so how is that going? How is the electric conversion arena as such going in the States?
It's going pretty good so far. It's still an expensive class to get into, I think, is the biggest thing for the consumer. But it's going along pretty good at my local track. We usually have like 8 or 10 cars a club race. And then last week at the Silver State, I think there's 40 entries. So all the major companies are getting into it, so you know people are going to follow, so it's cool.
How different are the cars going round a track? What are the differences between the electric and the nitro?
The electric car is just a lot more responsive. It's a lot more consistent. Our car has a lot more steering compared to our gas car because there's more weight on the front end. But mainly it's just a lot easier to take care of. The nitro doesn't get everywhere, obviously, because there's no nitro motor. And you don't have to worry about tuning. You just plug batteries in and you go. You know, it's easy. It's fun.
So here's how they line up on the grid. Ryan Mayfield in pole position from the USA. From the Italian, Riccardo Rabiti. First of the Brits is Darren Bloomfield in third. No Danny Vega Frias for some reason. Hasn't turned up. You can see the gap on the grid. In fifth position, Philip Gusci. And the top 6 made up by the American Ryan Cavalieri. No one has ever adequately explained to me the role of the ninja here, but let's hope he gets his sword out the way, and he does, as Ryan Mayfield leads them off on the first lap. And already a little bit of disastrous action behind that's caught up one or two of the top runners there as Mayfield makes good his estate. Oh, doubles the back whips there. That's fantastic stuff. Look at the height that they're getting from there. And the second place driver, Riccardo Rabiti, just losing control in the air there. That is the danger, of course, of getting so high. As off goes the American Ryan Mayfield into the distance. And look at the lead. He's pulled out already, coming round the end of the first lap. And he's almost got the whole of the first straight. Indeed he has. Oh dear, there's more problems there. Now these drivers are really psyched up for this. And I think you can see there's a little bit of tension on the sticks. Watching the battle for second position at the moment. Rabiti. There he is with the second place at the moment. And that's Cavalieri, who's come up from 6th to 3rd. He's putting a bit of a challenge on here, and he goes up into second there. There's again a bit of a problem behind. Well, quite surprised that there's so many mistakes early on here. The drivers have had a lot of practice on this. Speaking to them, they seem to like this circuit. It is very challenging. It's a very difficult first couple of corners. So it's Cavalieri now in second position. Now here's the battle for 4th, and it's now, who have we got here? That is Gusci with the yellow wing. Behind him is Lee Martin, British driver. Behind him, dropping down from 3rd position, is another Brit. That's Darren Bloomfield in the blue buggy, and he's trying to make back up positions here after that first lap scrimmage. Marvellous stuff. It's what we've come to see. Big air, love it. Gusci still holding on to that position to 4th, and then Lee Martin just trying to get closer to him. Meantime, back with the battle for second position, and it's still Cavalieri who holds on to that from Rabiti in 3rd. Is he a bit closer this time? Riccardo just trying to put a bit of pressure on into that infield section again. We're not seeing much of Ryan Mayfield, who's our leader, and that is because he's rather driven away from the rest of the field. Very interesting looking at these lap times actually. These 14.4 volt electrics are actually just a tad quicker than the IC buggies that we've seen in the past. Now a bit of a problem there for this battle for second, just going past the back marker. And was that a slight loss of concentration there? No, held on to it. All of these. Oh, and there is another little challenge there, and both of them are off the course for a moment, but yet they have still not changed position. I was about to say that these cars are conversions from the IC machines, and the drivers are clearly still getting to grips with them. Lots of low down grunt as you'd expect from the electric motors, with bags of torque from 0. Really punch out of those infield corners. I think that's what has been the real downfall of some of these drivers. And there's the pass for second. Nice stuff as Rabiti goes back through down the inside. Classic piece of overtaking. And can he hold on to it as he comes back towards us, squirting on? His second position is definitely the best battle on the circuit at the moment. Mayfield, he's gone, he's disappeared, made good his escape, and unless he has a problem, can't see anybody getting anywhere near him. What concentration from these two drivers. Cavalieri now with it all to do then in third position in the red-bodied buggy. Still able to control the cars in the air with the torque of the motor. You'll see the drivers throttling, and maybe just hear them throttling off and throttling on just to try and get the pitch of the cars in the air so that they land under control. Not perhaps quite as fluid as the IC cars. They do seem to stop rather when they hit the ground, and again this is just people getting used to the new technology. And at the moment it looks like Rabiti is pulling away. He's got himself into a lovely rhythm here, and you can just see behind that Cavalieri is pushing a bit harder. Now further back down the field, that is the 11 car of Lee Martin being set about there by, I think, Darren Bloomfield. The two Brits having a battle for fourth position, and Bloomfield's gone through, but it's not all over yet by any stretch of the imagination. Bloomfield in the blue car, and Lee Martin in the red has got back down the inside. Oh, and he just touches the side. Unlucky. Quickly back on all four and straight back into the fight. This is for the first place off the podium and the best of the Brits as well. And Bloomfield, you know, in that blue car will be kicking himself. Got involved in that first lap scrimmage in a decent starting position from 3, and his times have been okay. And oh dear, a mistake there by the 11 car of Lee Martin, and that has given the position, I'm afraid, now to Bloomfield. There's our leader, and in fact he's going to be our winner because he's the only man on the lead lap. He's lapped the entire field. Ryan Mayfield, we haven't seen too much of him, but he has won the A final and won it in some style. Confirmation then of a dominating victory for Ryan Mayfield from the States with the team associated buggy, ahead of Rabiti and Cavalieri, who had their own little battle, didn't they? And fourth position finally going to Lee Martin. That last gas pass that we saw by Darren Bloomfield actually didn't count for anything because the leader had already lapped them, so they in effect had already finished by then. They didn't know it, neither did we, but Lee Martin gets fourth and Darren Bloomfield is in fifth. Top 6 made up by Philip Gouchy.
Well, next month we'll be staying in glorious Denmark to see if Mark Reinhard, the current Touring Car World Champion, can claim the DHI Cup, brought to you by Morphars. Across the pond, well, across the channel really, we'll also be here again in Telford, and we'll see if another World Champion, Atsushi can bring home the Neo 09. That's all on RC Racing next month.
There's carnage! Absolute carnage!